Good morning and welcome to the video on how to balance equations. Now my method for balancing equations is perhaps a little bit strange, but I think it works. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you the method, I'm going to have a go at some equations together, and then you can have a look at the worksheet that's got some equations on it and some web links for some online interactive equation balancing so that you get instant immediate feedback so that you know how you're doing. Okay, so you can see I've got an equation here. AL plus O2 makes Al2O3. Now my method has a few steps. First of all, I draw a dotted line through the arrow and then I give them names. I pretend that these aren't chemicals. I pretend that these are people, and these are people going on a bus journey. So everything on this side of the arrow is people getting on the bus, and everything on this side of the arrow is people getting off the bus. Now the people that get on the bus have to get off the bus. They don't die, they don't change names, they're not vaporized, nothing happens to them. If they get on, they have to get off. And equally, if they're getting off the bus, they have to be getting on the bus. Okay, so I need a name that begins with an AL. So I'm going to go with Alex. And a name that begins with O, and I'm going to put Olivia. Okay. Now this one's easy. O2. The 2 is after the O, so that means there are 2 Olivias. But there's no number after this Alex. So how many Alexes are there? Well, there's 1. If there's no number, there's an imaginary number 1. Because chemists are a bit lazy. We don't like to write the number 1. So anytime there's no number after the name, it's a 1. So there's 1 Alex getting on my bus. Now let's look at what's getting off. How many Alexes get off this bus? Well, there's a 2 after the Alex, so it's 2 Alexes. And how many Olivias get off my bus? There's a 3 after the Olivia, so it must be 3. Now you can see that 1 does not equal 2 and 2 does not equal 3. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to think back to my maths lessons. What number do 2 and 3 both go into? I think they both go into 6. So if I times this 3 by 2, it would make 6. Okay, so it'd be nice if I could just write some little numbers in here, wouldn't it? In fact, if I could just get rid of that 3 and write a 2, then it would be dead easy. But I can't change these little numbers. All I can do is write a big number at the beginning here. And I want to multiply this 3 by 2, so I'll write a big 2 here. So all of these Alexes and all of the Olivias have been multiplied by 2. So I've got 2 times 3, which is 6. But I've changed my Alexes. 2 times 2 is 4. Now you know that 1 does not equal 4 and 2 does not equal 6. So what can I do to this 2 to make it equal 6? I can multiply it by 3. So where do I write the 3? That's it. I write it here because 3 times 2 is 6. Now I need to do something with these Alexes. I need to make 1 equal 4. What can I multiply 1 by to make it equal 4? And that's it. That's how we balance equations. Now let's have a look at another equation. So this time we've got KOH plus H3PO4 makes K3PO4 plus H2O. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to draw a dotted line to separate our bus journey so that we don't get confused. Now we're going to give them names. Now all capital letters get their own name. So remember on the last one we had an Alex. We had Alex because an A, capital A and a little L, the little letter belongs with the big letter. So I've got a capital K. So let's have Carl. O, let's stick to Olivia. H, let's have a Harriet. I've already written a H. P, O, I've already written. And that's all of my letters. Okay, now we need to start our counting. How many Carls get on the bus? Carl is only here and there's no number after it, so it must be 1. How many Carls got off the bus? There's only Carls here and there's a 3, so it's 3. How many Olivias get on the bus? Well, there's 1 Olivia here and there's 4 Olivias here. 1 plus 4 is 5. How many Olivias get off the bus? There's 4 here and there's 1 here. 4 plus 1 is also 5. How many Harriets get on the bus? There's 1 here, but there's 3 here. 1 plus 3 is 4. How many Harriets get off the bus? There's no Harriets here and there's 2 over there. How many Petes get on my bus? 1. And how many Petes get off the bus? 1. Now we can see that Olivia matches, Harriet doesn't, and this looks nice and simple to me. 2 and 4. What can I do to 2 to make it equal 4? Remember, we can't change the little numbers, we can just add big numbers at the beginning. So what can I do to 2 to make it equal 4? I can multiply it by 2. So I've got 2 times 2, which is 4 Harriets. How many Olivias do I have now here? I've got 2 Olivias. I've got 4 here. Oh, so I've now got 6. So this one that matched before doesn't match anymore. Now let's look at what else is nice and simple. 3 and 1. So what can I do to this 1 to make it equal 3? And times it by 3. So let's put a 3 here. So 3 times that imaginary 1 is 3. Let's change some things. I've now got 3 Olivias. I've got 4 Olivias over here. That makes 7 Olivias. I've got 3 Harriets and 3 Harriets. Make 6 Harriets. Oh. My Harriets that I'd already balanced are now changed. Let's look at the Harriets again. I've got 3 plus 3 makes 6. Now let's get rid of that 2. Okay, so we're now back to 2 Harriets. I've got 4, 5 Olivias. Okay, so what can I do to 2 to make it equal 6? I can times it by 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And how many Olivias do I have? I have 4 here and 3 times 1. Well, 3 times 1 is 3 plus 4 is 7. Can you see? I've got 3 and 3 Carls. I've got 7 and 7 Olivias, 6 and 6 Harriets, 1 and 1 Pete. Because sometimes when we're balancing an equation, we get to a point where we think we must have gone wrong. And instead, just pause and have a look at the numbers. Let's have a look at another equation. So here's my equation. There's my arrow. So there's my dotted line. What you could do at this point is pause, have a go at the equation, and then compare your answer with mine and see how you did. Right, we need some names. I'm going to go for Nathan and Harriet and Olivia. Okay, now how many Nathans got on my bus? 1. How many Nathans got off the bus? 1. How many Harriets got on the bus? 3. And how many Harriets got off the bus? 2. And Olivia's? Got 2 Olivias getting on the bus and 1 Olivia getting off, haven't I? Oh no, there's an Olivia over here. 1 plus 1 is 2. Oh, it nearly matches, doesn't it? It's just these Harriets. Got 3 here and 2 here. So what number do 2 and 3 both go into? That's right, they both go into 6. So I'm going to times this 2 by 3. There's my 2. Let's times it by 3. 2 times 3 is 6. But it's changed my Olivia's. I've now got 3 plus 1 makes 4. Stay on the Harriets. I've got 6 Harriets. I've got 3 Harriets. What can I times 3 by to make it equal 6? I can times it by 2. Put a 2 here. So 2 times 3 is 6. Is it balanced? No, we need to look at these Olivias, don't we? I've got 2. I've got 4. What can I multiply 2 by to make it equal 4? I can multiply it by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Let's have a look at this one. CaCO3 makes CaO plus CO2. Let's start with our dotted line. And again, if you're feeling like you've got these and you want to give them a go, pause, have a try and compare your answer with mine. Right, we need some names. Ca. So a Kate. And a C. For a Chloe. And an O. For a change, let's have an Oscar. Okay, how many Kates get on the bus? There's no number, so it must be 1. How many Kates get off the bus? Again, there's no number, so it must be 1. How many Chloes got on my bus? 1. And how many Chloes got off my bus? 1. How many Oscars got on my bus? 3. And how many Oscars got off the bus? 2 plus 1 is 3. The numbers all match. This one is already balanced. We don't have to do anything. Next equation. H2 plus O2 makes H2O. And again, pause and give it a try. H. Let's have Harry and Olivia. So how many Harrys get on this bus? That's 2. How many Harrys get off the bus? Again, that's 2. We've got 2 Olivias getting on and we have 1 Olivia getting off. 1 and 2. What can I multiply 1 by to make it equal 2? That's right, I multiply it by 2. I've now got 2 Olivias. But I have 2 times 2 Harrys, which is 4. So if I put a 2 here, I have 2 times 2, which is 4 Harrys. And this equation's balanced. Well done. Now this next equation is quite a tricky one. Well, it looks tricky. It's not really. But it's higher only. So if your foundation paper, feel free to join in with this next bit, but you don't need it. Now you'll notice that the difference with this equation is that it has some brackets. And they don't change how we start. So I'm going to draw my dotted line. I'm going to give them some names. I'm going to go for Felix, Agnes, a name beginning with N. Let's have Nancy and Oscar. Okay, how many Felixes get on my bus? I should have thought about that name, shouldn't I? That's 1. And how many Felixes get off? So ignore all of that. Is there a number after the Felix? No, there isn't. If there's no number, it must be a 1. Agnes, Again, there's no number, so it must be a 1. And the Agnes over here, there's no number, so it's a 1. Nancy's getting on, there's no number, it's a 1. I'm going to do the Oscar here for a second. So Oscar's getting off is 3. Now this bit over here, I want you to ignore the brackets and the 2 for now. So we would usually say that there's 1 Nancy and 3 Oscars. Now just like in maths, this number is going to multiply everything inside the brackets. So we had 1 Nancy, 1 times 2 is 2. And Oscars, we had 3. I'm going to times it by 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, now that should give you a nice clear idea about how we're going to balance this equation. We spotted it. How can I make 1 equal 2? Or how can I make 3 equal 6? You're right, I can multiply it by 2. So I'm going to put 2 here. Okay, and that's given me 2 Nancy's. 2 times 1 is 2. It's also given me 2 times 3 is 6 Oscars, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. But it's done something else. It's changed my Agnes. I've now got 2 Agneses. So I need to do one more thing, and let's put a 2 over here, because 2 times 1 is 2. And now all of my numbers match. My equation is balanced. Okay, now I want you to have a go at those online activities. Practice balancing equations. The only way you'll do this is by practice. Start off with the basic ones as I've put on the worksheet, and then as you get good at them, make them a little bit harder. Okay, none of the maths in this is tricky, and when you get stuck, just have another watch of some of this video until you've reminded yourself. I'm really impressed with how well you're doing. Keep this up.